Hello everyone and welcome to the second trimester. We're going to begin our chapter 4 from Algebra 1 book, and this unit will be about graphing linear equations and functions. So go ahead please and write down Unit 4a, graphing linear equations and functions. After we're done with this lesson, you can go ahead and begin practice assignment 17a and B worksheet along with 1.6 worksheet. So everything will be attached together and we will discuss some of the examples in the classroom. So this is mission 1, and mission 1 will be about representing functions as tables and graphs. Pretty much in this unit we will talk about plotting points, what the tables look like, how do we graph it from tables, how do we solve equations to get the missing points or to get the points to graph them, all order pairs. And also we'll talk about what is range and domain in a function. So first important thing before we begin with anything in graphing is to have a coordinate plan. So when we have a coordinate plan, we have our x-axis and y-axis. So that will be the first thing. You want to draw a horizontal line and call it x-axis, and a vertical line, call it y-axis. Once you have your horizontal and vertical line on your graph, next thing, I want you to point the origin. So the intersecting point here, it's called origin, and the coordinates of the origin are 0, 0. Okay, so we have origin 0 and 0. 0 for x, 0 for y. After that, next thing we want to label are the 4 quadrants. So we always begin with quadrant 1 and then we go counterclockwise, because the next one will be quadrant 2, then we have quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. The reasons we're calling this quadrants because the points that we are going to have on the coordinate plan will be in different quadrants. Also, if the point has x coordinate and y coordinate all positives, that means point will be in the first quadrant. If we have a point with x coordinate negative and y coordinate positive, that means the point will locate in quadrant 2. If we have another point that both of the coordinates are negative numbers, then the point will be somewhere in quadrant 3. And if we have a point with x coordinate positive and y coordinate negative, that means this point will locate somewhere in quadrant 4. So at the beginning, by pointing all of those new terms, you may feel a little bit confused, but once we start plotting points, you will see what it's about. So hopefully it won't be that difficult very soon. Okay, so take time to finish this. I will keep moving. Definitely you will pause the video if you need to. Next example on this page, it says plot the points on the coordinate plan. So we're going to plot each one of those 4 points. We have point Q with coordinates 0 and negative 5, point S with negative 7, negative 4, point T 3 and 0, and point R with 2 and 4. Always, before we begin with graphing, you have to have your x and y coordinates written down or drawing. So I'm going to begin and I will say this will be my y coordinate, and this right in the middle will be my x coordinate. Okay, so this is x and y. All negatives from 0 are on the left here, and all negatives for y will be down here. All positives for x will be to the right from 0, and all positives for y will be on the top. This is 0. So once you have your coordinate plan, next thing will be to start plotting points. And first we'll begin with point Q. Now we know that this is x and this is y. Okay, so this is x coordinate, y coordinate, x coordinate, y, x coordinate, y coordinate. So let's take a look of the first point Q. X coordinates 0, so if you look at X, 0 is right here, and then we have negative 5 for Y. So the negative 5 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here. So 0 for X, negative 5 for Y. This is the first Q point on the coordinate plan. Next one, we have S, which is negative 7 for X. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is negative 7. We can put negative 5 here. Negative 7 for X. And then negative 4 for Y. So from here, now we have to go 4 points down. 1, 2, 3, 4, because this is negative 4, right? So negative 7 for X, negative 4 for Y. It means the location of point S will be right here. Okay, so now we're going to find out where is the third point. It's given that X is positive 3, so positive 3 is 1, 2, 3 right here. This is positive 3. And Y is 0. So we're not moving up or down because Y is 0. That means the location of my third point is exactly at positive 3. In the final point, R, we have 2 points for X, so 2 for X right here, 1, 2, 2 positive, and 4 positive for Y, which means we're moving up, so 1, 2, 3, 4, this is 4. So that will be the location of my R point. And with this set, we're done with the first example. So we just put 4 random points. If you have questions about this, we can discuss it in the classroom for sure, but that will be the very first problem for you. Next thing, let's go ahead and flip the page. See what we have for this mission. We want to graph function, and the function it's given to be y equals 2x minus 1 with domain of x. So now, go ahead and copy this part over here, this example. And once you working with, so take the moment just to copy this and the table that I already began with. And I want you to remember 2 things. When we talk about domain, we talk about x. X is the domain. Then we're going to write down the function, what is the function, and then we will calculate what is y. Y is what we call range. So go ahead and write here range. This is domain. So x is domain, y is range. That's how we call those. In the middle, we're going to put what the range is equal to, or what the function is, which is 2x minus 1. Okay, so now, please focus only on this part. Ignore it. Don't pay attention to this one for now. So we have given for domain our x values a few numbers, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. In order to calculate the range, we will substitute each one of these values for x inside the function, and we'll calculate y. So how this is possible? So we're going to copy this 2 times. Now instead of x, we're going to put number negative 2 times negative 2 and then minus 1. So next step is to calculate what is 2 times negative 2. So use the calculator. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Minus 1 will give us negative 5. So what this means? It means when x has value of negative 2 and we substitute it into the function, we will get that y coordinate is negative 5. So those x domain and range will be the coordinates of the points we need to graph it later. Next, we have x is negative 1. Same exact function. 2 times, we'll substitute negative 1 for x minus 1. So 2 times negative 1 is negative 2 minus 1 will give us negative 3. So next point, we'll have coordinates x negative 1, y negative 3. third point, we have 2 times, again, instead of x we put 0 and then minus 1. Well, 2 times 0 is 0, minus 1 will give us negative 1 y coordinate, or range. Next one, we have 2 times 1 is x is 1, minus 1. So 2 times 1 is 2 minus 1. We have 1 positive here. And the last one will be 2 times 2 minus 1. 2 times 2 is 4 minus 1. We will get 3. So the coordinates of the points we need to graph will be, and I'm going to write them here, negative 2 and 5. So this is the first one. Second one will be negative 1 and negative 3. Third one is 0 and negative 1. Fourth one is 1 and 1. 1 and 1. And the last one is 2 and 3. 2 and 3. And all those are points we just calculated by using Fable and a function with some given values for x. Those values for x, we can come up with them. They don't have to be given for us. If we have it, it's good. If we don't have it, then those are good numbers always to use in order to find the coordinates of the points. Okay, so next thing, we need a graph. This is y, and this will be x. Okay. So let's go ahead and graph it. Hopefully we will have enough room here. So the first one, x is negative 2, which is right here, and y is 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jumps. That will be my first point. It's a little bit out of the graph, but that's okay. So we have 1 point here. Next point is negative 1 for x, which is again here, negative 1. And then we have negative 3 for y, which means we are going down. So we have 1, 2, 3 jumps down here. This is my second point. Next point is 0 and negative 1. So when x is 0, y is negative 1. That will be the point. So this is 0 point here. This will be my next point. Then we have 1 and 1. So positive 1 for x and positive 1 for y makes my next point over here. And the final one, positive 2 for x and positive 1, 2, 3 for y. So that will be the next point. Alright, so this is what we have. We have all points on the graph. So now, by looking this points, we can tell that we're done with the graph. We're done with the table, we're done with the graph. We plot the points, that's all what we want to see for now. Okay, next thing, we have given a real life example. So how do we apply this knowledge of coordinates of the points and graphing the points into the real life? So let's go ahead and take a look of this real life example. So I know this is a little bit kind of tiny space. Please take a moment, rewatch the video if you need to. We will for sure do problems like this together in the classroom. So hopefully you will have much better understanding after that. Okay, so example number 3, which will be the last one for this lesson. The table shows the number of hours worked and the corresponding pay in hours. So we have certain job. We don't know what this job is, but it says if people work 1 hour, they get paid $7.50 an hour. If they work 2 hours, then they get $15. If they work 3 hours, $22.50. If they work 5 hours, $37.50. If they work 8 hours, then they get $60 pay. Now, we have 3 things to do. We want to graph the data from the table. And when we have given table like this, that means this will be our x, which is the domain of the function. And this will be y, which is the range of the function. Now, x domain is something that is fixed. X does not change because we know that hours do not change. Range will be the result of those hours based on hourly pay. So we're going to label this as X and Y and we'll graph it. So let's go ahead and graph to finish the first part. So I'm going to just pull up a little bit through the top and minimize that a little bit so we can do the graph together. Again, this will be your Y coordinate. This will be your X coordinate. Okay, so think about this as one point. X domain is 1 and Y range will be 750. So for Y range, I will count this as a $10, $20, $30, $40, $50, and $60 an hour. So those will be the money and this will be hours here. So the hours could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I will just put 10 hours total. Okay, so this is my hours. This is my dollar amount or the pay rate that we're going to receive. So for 1 hour, this person will make $7.50. Now we won't be super accurate. I would say $5 is somewhere here, so $7.50 will be somewhere in this location. Then for 2 hours, this person makes $15. So if we go up, we get between 10 and 20, which is 15 somewhere here. So that will be my next point. Then for 3 hours, look at up here, we have $22.50. So for 3 hours, $22.50. This it's gonna be somewhere here. Again, $22.50 is right there. Then for 5 hours, we have $37.50, which again it's somewhere here. Close, not super accurate, but close enough. And for 8 hours, then we have 60. For 8 hours, we have $60, which is exactly up here. Here. All right. So look at all those points. If I draw a line that goes through all the points, look at this. We will get a straight line that goes up. And this is what people call a linear function because it's a line. We have a function process going on, and this is what we call the linear function. So we just graphed the data from the table. I will put check mark here. We're done with this. The question is, does the graph represent a function? Well, I just told you. Yes, it does. It represents function. It goes all the way through. And describe the change in hours worked and pay. Well, the change is, what does it mean? It means as many hours you work, as much money you're gonna get paid. So if you work more hours, if you work 10 hours, you're gonna pay. You will get more money paid. If you work less hours, then you will get smaller amount of money that you will be paid. So this is what the description of this particular graph looks like. Okay, well that was all for today, and we will again continue talking about examples like this. I do have a worksheet for you, so everybody will do awesome job. Let me know if you have questions, write them down. Make sure you also post your questions under the discussion board and we will talk about it. Thank you for watching the video and have a great day, everybody.